Established in 1902, Fisher Park is one of Greensboro's oldest neighborhoods. It also has some of the city's most interesting homes. You can tour many of the houses on Preservation Greensboro's Tour of Homes and Gardens. Preservation Greensboro's 7th annual Tour of Historic Homes and Gardens is coming up this May, and Benjamin Briggs is director to tell us a little bit more about it. This home behind us is on it, right?
Yeah, we're very excited about this tour. We're highlighting and showcasing Fisher Park, which is one of Greensboro's most celebrated historic neighborhoods, and we have 6 incredible furnished homes that'll be on the tour, and this is one of them.
And this was a home that looked quite different the last time. It actually was on the Tour of Homes some years ago, and it looked a lot different.
In 2011, the tour was here in Fisher Park, and this house was showcased because Preservation Greensboro had acquired it, and we were trying to find a buyer for it to fix it up, and it was in very bad shape. In fact, it had an order of demolition by the city of Greensboro. That's how bad it was.
But today, it is gorgeous.
Well, we were very happy to find a buyer for the house, and they loved the craftsman architecture of the building. They did a major restoration of it. They added a new kitchen. They put new bathrooms in. They have historically accurate colors inside. So today, this house just glows on the street.
What kinds of architecture, what kinds of things will we see on this tour?
So this is a great example of craftsman architecture, and we have another incredible stone craftsman house on the tour. We'll actually have 2 Tudor-style houses with the half-timber work. We've got 2 colonial revival houses that look like they belong in colonial Williamsburg. And then we have a 3 Bears cottage, which is a really charming house.
And what is kind of the history of this neighborhood? Can you explain kind of where it started, who lived here?
Well, this neighborhood was very early, so the earliest parts of this neighborhood began in the 1870s. But really, the Fisher Park name came about around 1902, and Captain Basil Fisher, who was an Englishman who moved to the United States and actually had a gold mine down in Asheboro. He moved to Greensboro, and he bought this big piece of land. And there were a lot of complaints about this piece of land back then because people were illegally dumping on it. It was a dumping ground. And Captain Basil Fisher died, and when he passed away, he willed the property, the park, to the city, and the area around the park was developed as a subdivision, and it was named for him, Fisher Park.
Who were the first people who were living in this neighborhood?
Well, in 1905 and 1910, it was really captains of industry, it was lawyers and professionals here in Greensboro. As time went by, a more diverse crowd moved in with people of different economic backgrounds. So this neighborhood is unusual in that it has very large houses, very grand houses, but it also has modest worker housing and even some of Greensboro's earliest apartments.
What do you think people will enjoy seeing most about these homes?
I think people will enjoy walking the sidewalks and looking at all the front porches and the gardens of the neighborhood, but every house is different, so this neighborhood has so many different personalities in it, and so every house is decorated differently. You'll see modern furniture, you'll see furniture from around the world, craftsman architecture, colonial architecture and furniture, so really the theme of this neighborhood is diversity, and there's so many different types of styles here, and I think that's what people really enjoy.
And this will all benefit Preservation Greensboro. How will you use that money in our community?
Yeah, this is a celebration of the community of Greensboro, of Fisher Park, and it's a celebration of preservation. So all the proceeds come back to Preservation Greensboro, and we have several different initiatives. We have architectural salvage that saves historic building parts, and they're reincorporated into newer buildings or restoration projects. We own and operate Blandwood Mansion downtown as an historic house museum, which is on the is a National Historic Landmark building. We also acquire and promote historic preservation across the city. So whether it's Fisher Park or South Side or East Greensboro or Sunset Hills, we work to benefit all neighborhoods in the city.
Preservation Greensboro's Tour of Historic Homes and Gardens featuring Fisher Park will be May 20th and 21st. You can find out more by going online to preservationgreensboro.org.